Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you all how to make this little bracelet right here. And, well, this bracelet is my own original design, and it is a part of a little series that I'm making, and it is the Triple Single Pets bracelet series, and this one here is the Triple Single Pet dog. So this tutorial is actually an updated tutorial for another version of this design. So I actually am updating the tutorial and the design, and here's the original bracelet. And if you would like to make this version here instead, I will have a link in the description to the older tutorial, which is for this bracelet here. And just to let you know, that tutorial is very long and quite slow, and I'll be going a lot faster in this tutorial. And yeah, but if you want to make this, link to its tutorial will be in the description. So, anyway, to make this one right here, this triple single pet dog, you're going to need a few things, and, well, you're going to need a loom. Any loom that is a loom board, such as a Rainbow Loom, a Crazy Loom, a Wonder Loom, any of those looms should work for this design, but the loom needs to have at least 3 rows, like this, and it also needs to have at least 13 pins in each pin bar. So, when you go to count the number of pins here in the left row, you should count 13 pins or more. Here in the middle, you should count 13 pins or more, and here on the right, you should count 13 pins or more. So if you only have 12 or less, I will be making monster tail tutorials and hook only tutorials in the future. If you're interested, I'll have links to those in the description as well whenever I make those tutorials. And yeah, so you'll also need a hook, of course, and we'll use this to loom the bracelet, of course, and also to make a few things for the dog. So you'll need a hook. I'll be using just this plastic hook. Then you'll need a clip. Any clip that's used for rubber band bracelets should work. I'm using a C-clip. And then you will, of course, need rubber bands. So, as you can see, I have filled up the entire organizer that I have here with the different groups of bands you'll need. I'll explain what they all are. So, the A group, the A bands, they're going to be pretty much the body of the dog, so all these white bands, and then also these 2 little pink bands, which are the belly bands. They're pink. Sometimes they could be different colors, and they are also optional, so you could just make them the same color as the rest of the body, or you can make them a different color if you would like, and I will be showing you where you place those in this tutorial. Then this B group of bands, they are the ear rubber bands, so they're going to be the ears. They're here at the top. And unlike here in this example, I'm going to be using just 1 color for the ears instead of 2. Then the C rubber bands, they are all of the legs here. So we have these 2 here at the bottom, and then these 2 here up higher. And I'll be using 2 different colors and mixing them in for them. Then the D rubber bands here, they are the eyes and the nose for the dog, so all the facial features, the nose and the eyes. Then these E rubber bands here at the bottom, they are going to be the background bands, so these green bands and these blue bands. And there's not many of these. There won't be as many as you can see here in the example. There'll be a lot less. But anyway, then the last group here, this F group, they are the connector bands, and they are what connect the 3 rows of single chains and all this stuff together to make a triple single pet dog possible instead of 3 single chains. And these F rubber bands, you can make them the same color as your body and your background if you would like, but I'm just going to be using clear. So yeah, in the description I'll have the number of each type of band you'll need, so for the ears, each of the legs, and that stuff, I'll have that listed in the description. And also in this tutorial, I will be calling everything what it is instead of an A band, a B band, just so it's easier to know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so just go ahead, use the pause button so you can get the supplies you'll need. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So, to begin, we'll want the arrows on our looms to be pointing away from us, or in other words, the open end of the pins where you would put your hook when you're looming, you'll want that facing away from you. And to make this bracelet, we're going to be making each row individually. We're actually going to start by making some parts of the dog first, because we're going to need our loom to make a few things. And that's just the ears. So we're going to need to make the ears first. So go ahead and get your bands that you're using for the ear, and then have your hook nearby. And yeah. So, we're going to be making both. And to make an ear, we're going to start here at the beginning of our loom, arrow pointing away. We're going to get 2 of our ear bands. We're going to place them going outwards from this first middle pin to this first left pin. Then 2 ear rubber bands starting from this first middle pin going up to this second middle pin. Then we're just going to take 1 ear rubber band. Sorry about that. We're actually going to take 1 ear rubber band and go out to the left, and 1 ear rubber band and go up to the middle. So you just have to take 1 rubber band off each. So anyway, after you got that, now you're going to take 2 ear rubber bands and place it going up the middle, or up the left, and then 2 ear rubber bands and go inwards from the second middle pin to the second left pin. And so you should have something that looks like a diamond or a square shape or parallelogram. Ever have something like this here on your loom. And we're going to go ahead and place the bands we need for the second ear. And we're going to start here on this third middle pin. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing, except instead of going out to the left, we're going to go out to the right. So third middle pin to third right pin with 1 band. Then we're going to get another ear band and place it going up the middle. Now we're going to take 2 ear rubber bands, place it going up the right side, like that. And then 2 ear rubber bands, once again, going into, or coming from the middle and in to the right. And so you should have 2 shapes that look like this here. And now, it's time to loom the ears. So we're going to turn our looms around, and we're going to come all the way up here to where the ears are. And we're going to make triple cap bands for the ears. So triple cap band is pretty much a really small cap band. And how you make it is you take 1 of your ear bands, and we're going to start here on this fourth left pin, from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take that ear rubber band, put it on the pin like so, twist it, and put this new shape you create onto the pin as well. There we go. Now we're going to have these 2 little layers that are our cap band. It's just a regular cap band right now. And so we're going to grab one of those 2 layers, and we're going to twist it again and put this new shape onto the pin as well. And now you have 3 little layers for the cap band, and that makes it a triple cap band. Now we're going to do the same thing for this ear up here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to come here to the second right pin, so 1, 2, second right pin right here, and do the same thing on this pin. So we're going to take the ear band, put it on the pin, twist it, the new shape you create onto the pin as well. You're going to grab one of those 2 little loops that are that cap band, twist it, and put it onto the pin as well. That new shape, of course. And now you have 2 triple cap bands, and now you can get your hook and we can loom. So looming is very, very easy. All you have to do is you need to start by pulling the cap band back on one of the ears. I'm going to start here on this left one. You're going to grab the top 2 bands underneath. And be careful that cap band does not come off the pin. You're going to take those 2 bands and loom them in to the middle. Then once you're here in the middle, we're going to pull back these top bands, grab the bottom single band there, and loom it forwards. Now we're going to return to the same pin where the cap band is. We're going to pull it back again with our hook. Grab those bottom 2 bands that are left. Loom them forwards on the loom. And then on that pin, we're going to go into that pin, pull back those top bands, and grab this bottom band here and bring it in to the middle. Now you'll do the same thing for the other ear. I'll go ahead and explain how you loom it. So you pull back the cap band, grab the top 2 bands under that cap band. Careful, make sure it does not come off the pin. Then those 2 bands should be going inwards to the middle, or out to the middle like that. Then, when you're here in the middle, you'll pull back all those top bands, grab that bottom single band there, and pull it in, or loom it forwards. Now we're going to return to the pin with the cap band again. So pull back that cap band, grab those bottom 2 bands, and loom them forwards. And then once you're up here, you're going to grab this single band here. So make sure you pull back those top bands, grab that single band, and then loom it into the middle. And now we're going to go ahead and take these little ears off of our loom. So to do this, we're going to go ahead and do this one here on the left side of the loom. So we're going to start here where this cap band is. We're going to use our hook to pull that band off. Then these 2 pins here. So this left pin, you're going to go ahead and take those bands off with your hook. And then this middle pin that is closest to you, you're going to take those bands off as well. So don't take these bands off of this middle pin here, where you finished looming the ear. You'll do the same thing for this other ear here on the top, here on the right. You start with this cap band, then this middle pin that's closest to you, pull those bands off, and then this right pin, you'll pull those bands off as well. Alright, so now you should have your 2 ears still on your loom, and they're not falling apart because you didn't take these bands off your loom yet. What you're going to do is you're going to take your hook, you're going to stick it in one of the pins with the ear bands, and take it off the pin, but keep it on your hook, like this. And I'll show you again with this second ear. Put it in this pin, and then kind of pull it off, but keep it on your hook. And now you have both of your ears ready for your dog. So go ahead and put your hook to the side, keep these bands on your hook, and now we're going to go ahead and place the bands we need for the actual dog here. So you'll want the arrow on your loom facing away from you, open end of the pins also facing away, and go ahead and get your background bands and your body bands, including your belly bands. Now, we're going to go ahead and make the dog one row at a time. So basically, we're just going to place the bands for the left, then we'll place the bands for the middle, and then we'll place the bands for the right side. So, to begin, arrow pointing away, you're going to start here on this first middle pin, take a background color band and place it going out to this first left pin. And so we're basically just going to be placing a single chain going up the left side first. So you're going to take another background band, and we're going to place it going from this first left pin to the second left pin. Then we're going to place one more background band going from this second left pin to this third left pin, just like making a single chain. Alright, now we're going to switch over to our body bands, and we're going to place 8 of them going up the left side of our loom. So we'll take one, and take another, and we'll just place a single chain of bands, or body bands, going up the loom. Alright, so when you place those body bands, make sure you always place them going up the pin, or up the loom. So always working your way away from you on the loom. So you don't place the bands like this. You don't place a band here and then place a band here. Don't do that, because then when you go to loom your bracelet and then you finish looming, your bracelet will fall apart. So make sure you place it like this. Alright, so you should have placed 8 of your body bands now, and now we're going to switch back over to background bands, and we're going to place 2 of them. One of them is going to continue up the left side, and the last one's going to be placed from the second to the last left pin, or the 12th left pin. We're going to place that background band into the last middle pin, or 13th middle pin. So you got something like this here. And now we're going to go ahead and return to the beginning of our loom where we started the single chain, and we're going to place the bands we need for the middle row. So now you're going to want to have your belly bands near if you're using them. You're still going to need body bands, and you're still going to need background bands. Alright, so starting on this first middle pin, we'll take a background band, place it going up from that first middle pin to the second middle pin. You'll take another background band and place it going from that second middle pin to the third middle pin. So a single chain going up the middle now. Now we'll switch over to our body bands, and we're going to place 5 of them going up our loom. And now, once you have something like that there, once you've placed your 5 body bands for the middle, if you're going to be using belly bands, then you're going to go ahead and place both of them. So you're going to take one, place it, and then the next belly band after that. This is where you'll place your belly bands, and if you're not going to be using those, then you would just continue with body bands. But anyway, once you place whatever bands you're putting here in the middle, you're going to get one last body band and place it here for the middle as well. So you should have either 6 body bands and 2 belly bands, or 8 body bands in the middle. Right, and anyway, now we're going to switch back to our background bands, and we're only going to need 2. We're just going to place 1 to continue the chain, and then the last background band we need for the middle should also end on the same pin as where this left single chain is coming from. So that same middle pin. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and place the bands we need for the right side of the design. And, well, the right side of our design, or the bracelet, is going to be the exact same as the bands here on the left. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look here at the left side. So what bands we placed here on the left side of our loom, and we're going to copy that exactly on the right side of our loom. So you'll need the exact same number of bands, and you'll place them in all the exact same places as you did here on the left. So I'm not going to really explain how you do this for the right side. I'm just going to go ahead and place the bands. You can go ahead as well. Just look at what you have here on the left. And yeah, so just use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so like I said before, just use the pause button if you need to. And now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and push down these bands. Alright, but anyway, now what you're going to do is just make sure you placed all your bands correctly. So the right side should look the exact same as the left, and then the middle, here's what the belly bands should look like here. And yeah, now we're actually going to turn our looms around so the arrow is pointing towards us, kind of like we're about to loom the bracelet, but we're not. We're actually going to go ahead and place the additional parts for the dog, so all the legs and feet, ears, eyes, the connector bands, all that stuff that we need for the charm, or the bracelet. Gosh. Okay. So, we're actually going to go ahead and start by placing our eyes, nose, and also the ears. So we're going to come all the way up here around the top of our loom. And we're going to go ahead and place the ears that we need for the charm. Oh my gosh, the bracelet. I keep calling it a charm. Okay, so anyway. So the ears we already made, and they're here on our hooks. So these 3 pins here, where there is a body band on top of a background band, our ears are going to go in that area. So we're going to take one of our ears here on our loom, or on our hook, and each ear is 4 little bands on our hook. So we're going to take our first ear, and we're going to place it here on the right. So we're going to place it on the right side. Or even, you could even do it on the left side if you want, but I'm going to do it on the right. And you're going to take the bands and stretch them out enough so that you can get them onto this pin here, where you have a body band and a background band. And the body band's on top. And sometimes it's easier to just take the little loops off your hook and put them on the pin. And then you can just do that for the other 2 little loops there. Oops. And sorry if you couldn't really see that. I'll try to show you better here on the other side. So you'll do the same thing here for the left, or the right, whatever side you're doing second. So basically you would take the bands, and I like to take 2 of the loops at a time. Do that. And the other 2 little loops. And then, there you go. So now you got the 2 little ears. And now we're going to go ahead and place the eyes and the nose. So go ahead and get your 3 bands you'll be using for those parts. And so, for the eyes, we're going to do them first. So the eyes are here. And the eyes are going to be triple cap bands. And so is the nose. So you already know how to make a triple cap band, but I'll go ahead and explain it one more time. We're going to be making the eyes here on these two pins right below the ears. So the pins where the ears are, we're going to be putting our eyes on the two pins right below them. So I'll go ahead and explain how you make a triple cap band one more time. So you take the band, you put it on the pin, twist it, put that new shape you're creating, you put that on the pin. Then you have these two little layers which are your cap band. It's just a regular cap band right now. And we're actually going to take one of those two little layers, twist it, put that new shape you create onto the pin as well. And now you got three little layers, and that is your triple cap band. Now we'll do the same thing for the other side, so either the left or the right, whichever side you didn't do. So you'll take that band and make another triple cap band. And now we're going to make the nose. So the nose is also going to be a triple cap band, and we're going to be placing it on one of these two pins here. So we have the ears, the eyes, we're going to skip a pin, so skip a row of pins, and then the next pins down are going to be where we put the nose. So you can either put it here on the left or on the right, either side. And I'm going to put mine on the left. I'm going to put mine on the right. And you're just going to make a triple cap band on that pin as well. And so it should look something like this here. And now, instead of placing the little legs we need for the dog, we're actually going to place our connector bands first. So you'll also want to have your hook nearby, because we're going to be doing something with the nose and the eyes here. But we're going to get all of our connector bands, and we're going to place them. So the arrow is still pointing towards us, open ends of the pins towards us as well. We're going to take one of our connector bands, and we're going to look at all of the pins here in rows or in little triangles, because as you can see here, my loom is not in the square configuration where all the looms are all the pins are just lined up straight in a line. So they're going to be in a triangle shape for me. My rows will be. So we have row 1 here, this first triangle, or this first row of pins. Then we have row 2, and we're going to place our connector band going across row 3. Then we're going to get another connector band and place it going across row 4. Another band, connector band, place it going across row 5, row 6, with another one, another at row 7, and then we're going to place another one here at row 8, and now here at row 8 you should also have your little nose for your dog, so we're actually going to go ahead and get our hook for this. And what we're going to do with our hook is we're going to take the nose band, which should be underneath the connector band, and we're just going to grab one or two of the little layers and just pull it up and over the pin onto the connector band above it, and then bring the rest of it, and there you go. Then we'll get another connector band, place it going across row 9. And then here at row 10, we should have the eyes. So So we'll do the exact same thing we did with the nose for the eyes. Take your hook, grab a couple of the little layers and pull them up and over. And do the same for the other eye. And if one of the little loops for your eyes is a little bit bigger than the others, then you'll need to adjust them a little bit and move them around, and that'll fix the eyes and the nose. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and place another connector band here on row 11, and that hold on. And we're actually going to go ahead and place another connector band here on the 12th row. Had to make sure I didn't put a connector band in the wrong place. So anyway, now your loom should look something like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the little feet, and then we're going to start looming our design. So I would recommend pushing down the connector bands a little bit. And we're also going to need our hook for this, so we can actually put our loom to the side for now, because we're going to start by making the feet that will be on the bottom of the dog. So we have these two here on the very bottom, and then these two here on the very top. Alright, so you're going to need 3 rubber bands for each little limb. And I'm going to be using 2 colors for each. I'm going to be using 1 darker color and then 2 lighter colors for each one. And, well, as you can see here on the example, I have 2 that have just regular cap bands here at the ends, and then I have 2 that have triple cap bands on the ends. And so I'll just go ahead and hold it like this for just a minute. So you can choose either if you want a regular cap band at the end, or if you want a triple cap band at the end for all of your little legs and stuff. I'm going to be doing triple cap bands, but I'll also show you how you make a regular cap band. So you'll take your hook and 3 bands for one of your little legs. You're going to take one of the bands, put it on your hook, like so, and we're going to make our cap band first. So you take the band and you twist it while it's on your hook, and you put that new shape you create, you're going to put that on your hook as well. And what you have here right now is a regular cap band. So if you want to have just a regular cap bands, then you'll just keep it like this. And yeah, so if you want a triple cap band, you're going to grab one of these 2 little loops. You're going to grab it, twist it while it's on your hook. And that new shape you create, you're going to put that on your hook as well. Now you're going to take the other 2 bands you'll be using for the little leg. You'll put them both on your hook, like so, and take this cap band or triple cap band, pull it off your hook and onto the bands that you're adding. Then you'll put the other end of the new bands onto your hook, and now we're actually going to go ahead and place it on our loom. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use this. The first 2 legs we're going to be making will be here on the bottom, and then the next 2 legs will be on the top. So, for the little bottom legs, we're going to take one. So we're going to take the one we just made, and you can place it either here on this pin or this pin. And what this pin and this pin are is, as you can see here, we have, so this left pin here, we have a background band and a body band, but the background band is on top this time. So that's that pin there. We're going to put the first two legs we make on the next pin after this one here with the background band. So one of these two pins here. So I'm going to place my first one here on the left. And you're going to take these bands and transfer them onto that pin in a similar way you did with the ears. Here we go. Now we'll make a second foot or leg and we'll place it on the other side. So it's the exact same thing. You get a rubber band and you make it into either a cap band or a triple cap band. Then you take the other two bands you'll be using for the leg, put them on your hook like so, and take this cap band or triple cap band and put it on to those new bands. Then you'll put the other end of the new bands on your hook and you'll get your loom. And the second leg we're making, we're going to put it here on the other side we put the first leg. So directly across from there. Right, now we're going to make the other two legs, and making them is the exact same as the first two, and since it's just so easy, I'm just going to go ahead and make them and place them. And I'm not really going to explain how you make them because it's a cap band and two rubber bands going through the one cap band. So yeah, just go ahead and make your other two legs, and then we'll go ahead and start looming our bracelet. Oh, I guess I have to explain where the legs are going to go, actually. Alright, sorry about that. So, the other two little legs here, the ones that will be on the top, they're going to be going on these two pins here. So, as you can see here in the middle, if you used belly bands, then it's that middle pin, and then you go to the next row. So here's this one row where the belly band ends, and then there's the next row. That's where those two legs will be going. Or if you didn't use belly bands, someone's driving around really noisy outside. Anyway, if you didn't use belly bands, this connector band here that has your nose on it, it's the two pins before that. So here's your nose, here's the two pins before. So that's where these new legs are going. Alright. So anyway, go ahead and continue. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, there we go. So anyway, once you have all of your little legs here on your loom, now we're actually going to begin looming the bracelet so we can wear it and all that fun stuff. So we're going to first need a background band for our cap band to start the looming process. And so we're going to make it into a cap band. a little differently from how we've made our other cap bands. We'll take this band, twist it, and fold it back on top of itself like a book. And now we got a cap band. So we're going to take this cap band and put it on this first middle pin, or the first middle pin that has rubber bands on it. Also, make sure the arrow's pointing towards you still. Now we'll grab our hook and we'll begin looming. And looming this is just like looming a triple single, except for when you get to the legs, which I'll explain what you do there. And also there's just some extra bands in the design that you have to pull back. That's pretty much the only difference. So anyway, we're going to pull back the cap band, grab that top band underneath of it, and it's going out to the left, so that's where we'll loom it. Here on the left side, we'll pull back the top bands, grab the bottom band, loom it forwards. Now we are here at our first connector band, so we'll just pull that back with our hook, grab that bottom band, and loom it forwards. And that should bring us to our first little leg. So what we're going to do when we get to a leg is we're just going to take all these bands here that are on the pin that we had transferred from our hook. We're going to take those bands and pull them off the pin and onto this little band that we looped over it. And I like to use my fingers for that, as you could see. Right? And then this will kind of be in the way, so you might need to pull it back a little bit. But you'll pull back those top bands, grab the bottom band, and just continue looming like normal. So I'll just go ahead and get up to the second leg in the row. So whenever you get to a little leg, you just grab the band, pull it up like that. It's really easy. Easier if you use your fingers. And yeah, so just go ahead and loom your way up the left side. And whenever you get to an ear band, so a pin where there's ear bands, you'll just pull them back as well. So there'll just be extra rubber bands that you need to pull back. So once you get to the end of the left side, or even the right side, what you'll do is you'll just go into that last pin, grab that bottom band, and loom it into the middle. Now we'll return to the beginning of our loom again, where we have our cap band, and we're going to now loom this middle row. And the middle row is the very easiest to loom. It's just like looming a single chain. So I'm not actually going to explain how you loom it, because it's literally the same thing as looming a single chain. You just pull back that cap band, grab the top band underneath of it, loom it forwards, then in that pin, grab the bottom band, loom it forwards, and yeah, so just go all the way up the middle here. Alright. Now we'll just return to the beginning of our loom again once you finish the middle. So make sure you got all the way up to the top. We're going to return to the beginning of our loom again, and we're going to loom the right side of our bracelet. And looming the right side is the exact same thing as looming the left side. Just like when we were placing the bands, looming the bands is the exact same as well. So you'll do the same thing for the little feet, and the same thing when you get to the ear. Just pull back all those top bands for the ear, and make sure you take the foot and pull it over to that band that you loop over it. So just pull back the cap band, grab that bottom band, loom it out to the right, pull back those top bands on the right, loom that bottom band forwards, and yeah, so just go ahead and loom the right side as well. And there we go. So also make sure that when you get to the end of the right side of your loom, make sure you also loom this band here that goes into the middle. And once you finish looming all that stuff, it's now time to take the bracelet off of our loom. And yeah, so really exciting. So we're going to come back here to the beginning of our loom again, and just like what we did with the ear, we're going to use our hook to pull the bands off of our loom, starting with the cap band. And we're just going to pretty much do this, going all the way up our loom until we get to this last middle pin here with rubber bands on it. Do not pull those bands off of your loom. You're going to need those to put on your hook and to close the bracelet off. So, yeah. Alrighty. So there we go. Once you get to this last middle pin here with rubber bands on it, you'll just take your hook, and just like what you did with the ear, okay, whatever. We're just going to take our hook, put it in that pin, and pull those bands off of the pin, but keep them on your hook. Now you don't need your loom anymore, and what we're going to do is, well, this bracelet most likely is not long enough to fit around your wrist as it is, so we're going to add an extension. And to add an extension, we just need our hook and some additional background bands, and here's how you do it. It's really easy. So you just take your background band, put on your hook like so, and you pull this, or these bands here that are on your hook, you pull them onto that new band, and then put the other end of the new band onto your hook, like so. Then you take another band and you do the exact same thing. So I'll go ahead and explain one more time. You take a band, put on your hook like so, take this band that's already on your hook and put it onto the new band, and then you put the other end of the new band onto your hook as well. That's it. And you just keep doing that over and over until you make an extension long enough so that your bracelet will fit around your wrist. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Use the pause button if you need to. Someone is really having fun outside, making noise. Alright, one more band. Alright, so once you make your extension long enough, we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to get our clip. We're going to attach it to this band here that's on our hook right now, like this. And once it's on, you can take your hook out and take your clip and attach it to the cap band on the other end of your bracelet. So this cap band here, that is also a background color band, you'll take your hook or your clip and attach it to that. And once you have it on there, you're going to go ahead and, well, now you can put your bracelet on. And bam. So, as you can see here, I am now wearing my triple single pet dog bracelet. Hopefully you are as well. So I guess now it's time for the outro. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make the new triple single pet dog bracelet successfully. Hopefully now you have one and you're wearing it. It's cute and stuff. And you'll make a couple more. And yeah. So If you would like to make some more triple single pet bracelets, I have other animals as well. I also have animals like an octopus, a spider, a cat, duck, penguin, stuff like that. I'll have a link to the playlist where I'll have all my triple single pet tutorials link down in the description. And also, if you want to go ahead and try out and make the older version of this bracelet with the older tutorial, then I'll have a link to that in the description as well. And yeah, so that's actually pretty much all I have to say for this video, other than thanks for watching, and bye!